Then the second one is Retrieval facility, where you upload files and talk to the files directly. And the third is function calling facility, and I'm going to cover all of these. Out of these three, I have covered code interpreter, and in this video we will look into Retrieval functionality. So let's get started. First, I'll load my environment file, and if you look here, I have .env.example file, and you just copy the content and create a .env file and provide the API key, Openai API key, against this Openai API key variable. Yeah. Then let me import OS just to read the Openai API key, and then let me import OpenAI from OpenAI to create the client. So I'll create the OpenAI client and I'll provide my OpenAI API key. Now let's first look into assistant, and let's see if I have existing assistant or not. And when I hit this endpoint, it will say that I don't have any assistant. And indeed, if I guess I go to OpenAI and go to assistant, you'll see I don't have any assistant. So now let's look into files, because we are going to build a retrieval functionality, and for that we will need files. So you will see that I don't have any file either, and we can verify it using going to this file section, and you will see I don't have any files. Now in order to build a retrieval assistant, what you need to do is you need to upload a file. So let's look into API references, and under file section you will see these are the properties of the file object, and you will see there is a purpose which has two things, I guess four: fine-tune results, assistants, and assistants output. And you list all the file. You can upload a file as well. Let's upload a file, and since we want to use it for assistants API, we will say that our purpose is assistant API. So I'll create, or rather I'll upload a file, and let me get the file path. So I have downloaded this paper. Let me show it to you as well. This is the paper. I have downloaded a paper on style TTS2. I'm recently doing research on it as well. It's a text to speech conversion, and the results are amazing. Hopefully I'll be doing a video on it as well. So I have that paper downloaded. Let me copy the relative path and let me provide it here. With this few lines of code, we can create, or we can upload a file onto OpenAI, and you will see it has returned with a file object. You will see this is the file ID that we want to use. So now let's create an assistant. For that we are going to use Assistant API, and there is endpoint called create. It has bunch of things that you can pass: instruction, name of the assistant, and the tools that you want to use. As I said, there are three tools: retrieval, code interpreter, and function. Then the model that you want to use, and the file IDs that you want to associate this assistant with. So since we have created one file, we will associate that file ID with this assistant. And if I come here and if I refresh this, hopefully you will see that I have one file indeed created. Now let's create the assistant itself. So you can see the assistant is created, and if I go here, you'll see that one knowledge retriever is created, and if I go here, you will see the file as well. Okay. Once the assistant is created, let's look into the object as well. You can see it has bunch of information. Now the way assistant works is that you once create the assistant. In order to communicate with that assistant, you create a thread, put message on that thread, run that thread. Assistant will reply on that thread, retrieve the messages of that thread, extract the recently answered message on that thread by the assistant and use it. So in the same way, I'll create a thread. Let's see the information of that thread as well. So this is the thread ID. One important thing I want to mention here is that when you create a thread, Openai manages 2-3 things. First, the lifespan of the thread, the context length of the thread, and the messages. So when the context length reaches to the maximum point, Openai will discard the previous messages. Now what we will do is that we will put a message on that newly created thread, and I'll say, can you explain style TTS2 with the question mark, and we need to provide the file ID here. So when I run it, it will put the message on the thread. You can see this is the thread ID in the reference, but the thread is not at this point running or doing anything with the question or the message we have put. In order to run the thread, we need to call another endpoint, which is threads run create. It will take the thread ID and assistant ID, and it can take additional instruction as well. So I'll create a run. Yeah, once the run is created, we can immediately see that the object and the status is queued. That means it is on queue. Let's retrieve the run based on the thread and run ID, and let's see you can see the status is now completed. So once the status is completed, now you can retrieve the list of messages from the thread and check the last message. So let me retrieve that, and let's see user's message. Sorry, I guess user's message. This was the user's message, and let's see the assistant message as well. I'm sorry, Raj, but it appears there has been an issue with accessing file URL. The file is not accessible with my file tool, which is I guess something I'm not sure what happened there, but maybe I'm not sure what happened there. Yeah, it is ready to use, and if I go to assistant and here in retrieval, and this is my file ID, I'm not sure it is ZJB. It is it is, let's make sure that I have that ZJB. I'm not sure what happened there. Let's test it here as well. So when I say let me copy the same question here. Yeah, this is the same question, and let me copy that and put it into thread as well. Oh, it's taking much time than it should have, but I guess I have made my point. Okay, it seems that there is something issue. I'm not sure what it is, but I guess I have made my point. This is the way you can create, assistant with retrieval facility. And once I guess you have worked with your assistant, I usually delete the assistant, and for that you can use this delete endpoint. And let me see. Yeah, knowledge retriever. I guess it got the answer here, but I think it has decided to embarrass me at this point, but it's fine. So now I'll delete this assistant because I don't need it anymore. And if I come here and refresh this, hopefully the assistant is no more. So this is how you can use Openai Assistant APIs to create an assistant with retrieval facility. And I'm sure you understand that there are bunch of you can upload bunch of files here as well, and I guess there are some limits, and you can read more about it as well. So I guess this is it from my side. In case you have gained some knowledge from this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. That helps. Thank you for watching. Peace.